So continuing on with the definition of a person, as in you have a person, you own a person, but you are not a person. So I'm just going on to the gov.uk website, going into the Interpretations Act, which was 1889, and then it's the redone again in the Interpretation Act 1978 on Schedule 1. And it tells you the Interpretation Act 1978 defines a person as including a body of persons corporate or unincorporate. So yeah, it's an unincorporated association. It's not like it doesn't mean like a man. So if we actually go a little bit deeper and we have a look at Black's Law, okay, so I would always go with the definition, the Interpretations Act 1978 for the definition. However, back it up with Black's Law dictionary, and it says in here, and you have to read it properly, person, in general usage, a human being, i.e. natural person, though by statute term may include labour organisations, partnerships, associations, corporations, legal representatives, trustees in bankruptcy, or receivers. Okay, so in general usage, so when you're actually just talking to each other, for instance, down in the pub or whatever, and you're talking about a person, so in general usage, it means human being. But then it goes on and it says, however, though by statute term. So when you're talking about statutes, acts and statutes, what they mean by person is that it's a corporation. So whenever you're actually dealing with any kind of act or statute, they're actually going to say a person, they mean a corporation, which is exactly why they write your title out. All right, so if it was Mr. Fred Henry Smith, all right, it's Fred Henry Smith in full capital letters, because it's a corporation. It's not English. You can't write English like that. When did you ever get taught or shown how to write English in nothing but full capital letters? Doesn't make sense. But all corporations are always done in full capital letters. So if we look at, let's just say, actually on the HMRC, on the capital gains manual, and that also, it tells you under capital gains 10702, persons chargeable. Persons are, again, a body of persons corporate or unincorporate. It doesn't say anything about a man or a human being. And when you look at the Road Traffic Act, a person shall be guilty of an offence by virtue of paragraph A, subsection 2, if he shows that he did not know who and could not with reasonable diligence have ascertained who the driver of the vehicle was. Everything always talks about the offence would be if a person or persons. So we actually had a look at a definition of driving, and I'm only saying this through curiosity because people say that they weren't driving, they were traveling, okay, and they say that a driver is someone using a vehicle for commerce. However, in section 192 of the Road Traffic Act 1988, and it says the act itself provides a very basic definition of what driving means. A driver is someone who steers the vehicle as well as any other person engaged in driving. It is therefore possible for more than one person to be driving at the time of an offence. So very vague, I think, if you're trying to say that you weren't being a driver when you're actually using the Road Traffic Act or the Interpretation Act. But this is going to be backwards, but this is Black's Law's Dictionary, and this is the 6th edition, 1891 to 1991. They keep changing the definitions, is why they have so many editions. I think I've got another one up there, which is the 11th edition, the latest one. But a person is a body corporate when you're talking about statute terms, right? When we're talking to each other, then you could say, well, it's a person, i.e. it is a man, a living entity. However, when you're talking in statute terms, it is a body corporate. It is a corporation, which is why when you get charged with anything, for instance, under any kind of offence, then it's always written out in full capital letters, which is why when you get called into the court and they want you to confirm your name, they're not really saying your name. They're reading out the same as when they did the registrations at school. They're reading out a full capital corporation. So There you go, right from the book and right from the Interpretations Act, and both of them, 1889 and 1978.